Welcome to this video from In 28 Minutes. Thanks for helping us provide awesome learning experiences to more than 300,000 learners across multiple platforms, Udemy, Safari, and Pact. Let's welcome our lead instructor, RANGA KARANAM. One of the first questions that a lot of people talk about when we use Spring Framework is what is a dependency? In this video, let's dig a little deeper. Let's take a high level picture of what is a dependency in general terms, and we'll talk about what is a dependency when it comes to the context of Spring Framework. One of the important things is how we develop our applications. Whenever we develop applications, we develop them in terms of layers. So you would have a web layer, you would have a business layer, you would have a data layer. The web layer needs the business layer to be able to function. The business layer needs the data layer to be able to get the data and apply business logic on it. So the web layer depends on business layer. The business layer depends on the data layer. Data layer is a dependency for the business layer. Business layer is a dependency for the web layer. That's basically dependency in a big picture level. A dependency is something you would need to be able to carry out your function. For example, the business layer needs some data from the database. How does it get it? It needs the data layer. It needs the data layer to go to the database, get the data, and give it to it. The data layer is a dependency of the business layer. So any class in the business layer, if it needs some data, it depends on some other class in the data layer. Now that we understood what a dependency means at a high level, at the level of an architecture, let's get one level deeper and look at a couple of classes which are dependent on each other. Let's say a client has a number of products and you have a screen where you can edit the product or add a new product or delete an existing product, and you would want to have a business class to support that. The business class to support that is client BOIMPL, and this client BOIMPL uses two data layer classes, product DO and client DO. So the product DO and the client DO are inside the data layer, and the client business IMPL is inside the business layer. Now, what business logic is it providing? Let's take the first example. The first example is to find the sum of all the products for that specific client. What do I need to do? The first thing I would need to do is to go and get a list of products for that specific client, right? So I'm using product DO. I'm saying get me all the products for that specific client. Once I get the list of products that a client has, you might get a list of 10 products. I will do the sum of all of them. So what we are doing is we are getting the data from the data layer. The data layer product DO. So that's product DO which gets the data for us from the data layer. We are taking the data and adding business logic on top of it. Let's look at another example method that is present in here. Another method which is present in here is save changed products. What it does is, let's say on the screen a few products are modified. The user has edited a specific product, maybe he changed the description, he added in a new product, and he deleted an existing product. And the input to this method is which client and what is the final list of products. So what is the final list of products which were present at that particular point in time? What we would do in here in this method is we would compare the products entered by the user with the products which are present in the database, and we would have business logic to find out, okay, this product has been modified, so we need to update it. This product is newly inserted, so let's insert it in. This product is deleted, so delete it out. So what we are doing in here is adding business logic. If you look at each of these methods, insert new products, what does it do? It finally uses the product DO to insert the product. The delete stale products, what does it do? It uses the product DO to delete the product. So the business layer of this application uses the data layer classes to execute their functionality. That kind of stuff is what is called a dependency. The product DO is now a dependency of the client BO. Client DO is a dependency of the client BO IMPL. So the important thing to distinguish is the difference between inputs and outputs and a dependency. Client ID here is not a dependency, it's an input to one of the methods. The total calculated amount in here is an output. It's the amount which is coming out of here is not a dependency, it's an output from this specific method. So it's very important to distinguish between what are the inputs, what are the outputs, what is the data that you are playing with, from what is a dependency. So in this method, client ID is an input, user entered products is a input, and if this method returns something, that would be the output. So the product class, the list of products, all these are not dependencies, these are inputs or outputs. The dependencies are basically the product DO and the client DO. Let's look at a few more examples of dependencies. In this example, this complex algorithm is doing a lot of logic, and one of the important things that it needs to do as part of its logic is sorting. So the sort algorithm is a dependency of the complex algorithm. The advantage you get by making the sort algorithm a dependency is that you would be able to easily change from one algorithm to another algorithm. So if we create an interface for the sort algorithm, we would be able to easily switch from quick sort to bubble sort or any other algorithm you would want to use. Let's look at another example. The person JDBC DAO here needs the JDBC template. So to execute a query on the database, the person JDBC DAO needs the JDBC template. So the JDBC template is a dependency of the person JDBC DAO. You can see that inside the person JDBC DAO, there are a number of methods. One of the methods is find by ID. ID is the input and person is the output. So ID is the input, person is the output. However, what I need is the JDBC template. The JDBC template is a dependency. That's what I would use to achieve my functionality. If I want to get the details for a person, if I want to delete a person, if I want to insert a new person, what do I need? I need JDBC template. So the person information is the data and the JDBC template is the dependency. In this video, we focused on one of the most basic concepts in Spring. What is a dependency? We talked about the fact that applications are built in terms of layers: web layer, business layer, and data layer. A data layer is a dependency of the business layer. A business layer is a dependency of the web layer. Any data class I make use of in a business layer is a dependency of that specific business class. We looked at a few examples of dependencies. We looked at a business class making use of two data classes. We looked at a data class making use of a JDBC template to be able to talk to the database. Whenever we talk about dependency, you need to be able to distinguish between what is a dependency and what is data, what is input and output. So inputs and outputs to the methods are not really dependencies. They are just the data that is passing through. A dependency is something I would need to talk to a database, to talk to an external thing and get the data I would need. In 28 minutes is providing awesome learning experiences to 300,000 learners across platforms like Udemy, Safari Online and Pact. We have clocked million hours of learning in the last few months. The question is, what do you want to learn next? We are building solutions to help programmers at all levels. You can learn programming with our awesome courses on Java, Python, and JavaScript. You can learn full stack development with REST APIs and microservices with a wide range of frameworks like Spring Boot, Node.js, React, Angular, and Spring Cloud. We have 200 plus videos to help you start your journey from a programmer to a software architect. We have videos to help you learn frameworks, industry trends, including things like microservices, learn the best practices in architecture, design, and code quality. Thanks for watching. Keep learning in 28 minutes.